I will build my love a bower by uncool and crystal fountain, and on it I will pile all the flowers of the mountain. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go.
Now raps inside my skull cap like a brick stack. We can't be back. I told y'all niggas 98 list that. Yo, 99 I piss on rap. 2,000 where your pistols at. Done. We be the men in black fatigue. $30,000 chains to swing. You catch me in the street popping that bullshit. Catch a fat lip.
I will lay hands true.
The feds on me now. They know when I'm sleeping, they know when I'm awake. I know they got my phone tab, I'm screaming fuck Jake. I'm trying to stay out the pens, so I switch states. Bad news for you now, that sounds great. I see niggas with their ice on, rims side up. This town's one big pussy, waiting to get fucked. I'll add AI peoples to get gas. They charge me 500 a piece for 2 max. Then I'm back doing me.
Wanna throw children, she get spanked, fella. Wanna talk dope, I'm seeing more cash in a bank teller. Wanna talk girls, you can't follow this. I've been through more skins than
Well, it's an annual tradition. It's time for the end of year Make a Mixtape 2025 year in review mixtape. I'm here with my brother Morgan.
Hello.
And
Internet.
if you're new here from Red's Good Vibes or something like that, welcome to Make a Mixtape. Today we're going to be talking about the year 2025 in culture, which, as opposed to everything else associated with 2025 was like pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. All right, 2025, the year of lyrics. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Lyrics
that's the theme
came
today.
back this year. All right. That's what
lyrics are back.
That's what I was thinking about. All right. Lyrics are back. Everything else, I agree with you. Total garbage year. You know,
throw this year out with the garbage, but keep the movies and the music and the TV shows and such.
Which, I mean, I think if you looked historically at times of trouble, it's kind of that's about accurate. There's good art that comes out of these struggles. So
yes, absolutely. So we're gonna count down our top 10. I don't know. Is your list this year? Is it all songs? Is it some slots reserved specifically for movies or TV shows? Or
some slots are specifically, yes, they are tied to movies. And
I picked a song to represent each thing, but in some cases, the song represents a movie.
If you've never listened to our podcast before, Zach has very loose connections to why he picks some random song that represents some movie. It's not even on the movie soundtrack. It doesn't make any sense.
But this year, that's not true, actually. This year, there are some movies that very prominently feature songs either in the soundtrack or performed.
Too true.
There's also just a lot of great music, so there were a lot of opportunities to share just music. So, yeah, and we also are going to have some honorable mentions, you know, some things we loved, some things we didn't love as much, all that jazz.
This year, my list, I was telling Zach before we started that my list is probably the most chaotic that it's been in ever of these podcasts because, I really kind of figured out that somewhere along the way where I was like, it doesn't need to go in order anymore. The best thing of the year may not be, high on my list.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, I think I got it. I think I made it work, but somewhere in between. So my list, I hammered out about, I had an ongoing list of like 20 things. I made it 10 things about 5 minutes ago. So
okay, all right.
Yeah.
What I normally do each year is that I have like a note in my phone that I pinned to the top of my notes, and I just write down everything culturally that I loved.
Yes.
And I use that to kind of build. But this year, I found it. I got like a solid 8, and then I thought, I'm having a little bit of a hard time with the other 2. It's not that I didn't love 10 things. I did. But making like a list, a coherent list out of it took some finessing.
So I kept a 2025 watch list, which I realized at first I was looking at it when thinking about this list, and I realized that like all of the things at the top of the list, I was just catching up from 2024 on. And I was like, oh, right, that was all 2024.
Yeah.
But that being said,
I'm still catching up on stuff from 2024, honestly.
do you want what order are we following today? Are we starting with some honorable mention things, or do you want to get into?
I think we should do
list?
the list first, and then do our honor mentions later. And do you want to go first? Or do you want to go second?
I normally make note of who did it the last time. I don't care. What do you dealer's choice?
I can go first because I feel like I might, because of the way I structured the list, I might mention some stuff before you do. So I want to try to get out in front of that.
Okay.
Wait, actually, that means you should go first. I'm trying to game this out. You go first. Tell me your number 10. What's your number 10 on the 2025 mixtape?
Okay. My number 10 is about a 6.5 minute drum solo. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the song is called Joy, and it comes from The Life of Chuck. Now, the actress.
Oh, so this is the dance scene in The Life of Chuck.
This is the dance scene.
Okay.
Okay. So it is performed by an actress, and I can't remember her name right now, but her artist name is the Pocket Queen. Okay, and she became famous from it's seemingly like TikTok stuff because she's like a busker.
I see.
So her scene in the movie is literally what she does, as a content creator and musician,
That
street
makes sense.
musician, right?
That does make sense now.
People loved this scene, right? I did too. It is not my favorite scene of this movie, and I really just picked it as the stand-in musical track for this movie. The Life of Chuck, I loved. We went to see it in the theaters, actually, because we just were looking for a theater experience, and we were like, Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
We knew that it was like a Stephen King story, and that it wasn't like a horror flick.
Yeah, more the Green Mile Stephen King.
There was interesting kind of stuff going around with this.
Yeah.
Now you've seen it, right? At this point,
yes.
yeah.
And for everybody who's listening to this, it is currently streaming on Disney Plus Hulu. If you are interested in,
You
watching
should watch it.
It goes down easy. It's very bizarrely structured.
Yes.
But when it handholds you through that. Like the movie starts and it says Act 3.
Yes.
And you're like, okay, I get it.
Yes. Right. Exactly. and it's really just like an exploration of life. It's got some mystical properties that go along with it, and it's just a fun ride.
Well, Life of Chuck, that's your number 10.
Yeah.
For my number 10 choice, it's coming from a little record called The Kids Table EP by our pal Bright Eyes.
Okay.
The song is called Sharp Cutting Wings, parentheses, song to a poet. Dumb parenthetical. Such a dumb parenthetical.
Yes.
But this choice is a reflection of me refusing to admit that my goat is washed, you know, as the kids say.
Yeah.
And I don't like any other song on this EP, literally. There's one song that's called, I think it's Shakespeare in a Nutshell, that's it's not even a song. It's a loose collection of sounds and ideas, and it's Connor, man, I'm gonna need you to just write a second draft, buddy. I'm gonna need you to just tap in and put a little effort in. But Sharp Cutting Wings, I really like. It's a very simple, it's an acoustic song. His voice is very raw. It sounds like something from years ago. It literally might be, considering how this EP was put together.
True. Yeah, that's true.
But, and I also I wanted to recognize that we saw Bright Eyes together this year, Bright Eyes in Cursive.
Yep.
And it was really fun. And I actually did, I got to see a respectable amount of live music this year for the first time in a long time. So, shout out to our friend of the podcast, John. Took me to St. Vincent and TV on the radio. He was so great about it too, because he was like, "You want to come to this concert?" And I was like, "Yes, but I need you to know that the timeline on which I'm going to be able to pay you back is going to be geological."
Right.
But then actually, ultimately, I was able to kick John some money because you and I were also playing live music this year and making some tips down at Czars.
Yep.
And
that is true.
And that was another really fun part of the year.
I agree.
The 4 Relative Isolation live performances. And I wanted to recognize the year in live music. I wanted to tip a hat to Connor Oberst.
Okay.
And so I picked this song.
I can get along with this.
Table EP.
I have not made it through this EP because I couldn't do it. Okay?
Yeah. Well,
now I will say this.
It took a lot of tries for me.
I just had to look up the track list. I did listen to that song and I did like it.
Yes, that one is good.
Yeah. But
the woman from Tao and the Get Down, Stay Down is a sort of new recurring staple in Bright Eyes. And I think that their voices together, it's really starting to click for me.
Wait, fuck, sorry. Zach actually meant the woman from Hooray for the Riff Raff. For some reason, he gets those kinds of tiny desk-type bands mixed up all the fucking time. We regret the error.
I like that. I'm into that. My problem with all of this is this, okay? And this is a reoccurring theme in 2025 for the things that I didn't like.
Yeah.
Just lack of soul, okay?
Sure.
I don't feel like Connor Oberst is doing any of this because he wants to. I think the live shows, yes, to a certain extent.
But there's so many.
And
like he's been touring for so long.
He's been touring for so long.
Bob Dylan of like perpetual touring.
And maybe he just sees it as this is making money and that's good and whatever.
Maybe it's easier now. I don't know. I feel like people talk about life on the road being really grueling and really bad for your health, and yet I don't know, maybe when you get older you find a way to do it. When I'm looking at him, I just feel like nothing he has done in the past. Like, we love him forever, all right? We love him forever. He can do no wrong, okay? Sort of. But again, like, I just don't feel like he is in it. Yeah.
And as a listener, I'm like, yeah, if you don't care, I don't either.
Well, Connor Oberst, we need you to tap in.
Yeah.
We still love you, but we need you to tap in.
We need something to happen to him, like, that impacts his reason for doing this.
Do you know what all right, this is kind of not like an honorable mention. It's kind of like a dishonorable mention. But the funniest live music experience that I've had this year was I was filming a video at a concert in Prescott Park for professional reasons. And like, I don't want to like reveal the name of this band. Right. But it starts with a D and it rhymes with they this band, I was laughing so much watching this band perform because they sing these incredibly sweet, hyper, like soft, glowy, like like crickets in a field harmony music. And then the guitarist of the band was mad that his guitar was wet. And he like kept complaining about it from the stage and like saying someone should admit who did it, And the first time he did it, it was like, is this a weird bit? But then he kept bringing it up and he was really angry about it. And it was like, this just does not work.
Wait, was he suggesting that someone like spilled something on it?
I think so. Yes. And I was like, your guitar is on a stage about 15 feet from the ocean.
Yeah.
So like there's probably a few reasons why your guitar might be a little bit wet, but it was like genuinely hilarious to hear like these songs that are ending like, and he's like, if someone would just like admit it, that would be a lot better. And you're like, what the fuck?
Was someone supposed to walk up to the stage and be like, hey, by the way, buddy, I did that?
I don't know. But it was just like, I've never had a more of a disconnect between the music being performed on stage and the vibe of the performers.
Oh, wow. This is a lot. It's a lot to take on.
In a weird way, it kind of reminds me of there's like an old maxim that it's like, remember that punks are nice people pretending to be mean and hippies are mean people pretending to be nice.
Right.
It's like that was being illustrated on stage with these folky banjo people.
That's so funny.
So anyway.
And strange.
So shout out to them.
I would have been uncomfortable.
I was.
Yeah.
So all right. So what is your number 9 on your 2025 mixtape?
My number 9 is one of 2 different songs that did not come out in the year 2025.
That's totally valid.
It came out in the year, and what's really funny about this, my other song that's not from this came out in the same year.
Okay.
My number 9 on this list from the 1999 album Mule Variations by Tom Waits. The song is Come On Up to the House. The reason is because it is the last song in the most recent chapter in the Knives Out series, Wake Up Dead Man.
Is it? Okay. I haven't finished the movie yet.
Okay.
That is fine, though.
I figured telling you the last song
is totally fine.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I somehow maybe knew that.
Well, maybe they used it for the marketing or something.
I have been really enjoying that movie, and yet it has taken me like 3 nights to watch it.
Okay, so
because it's long.
It's long, and I started it late one night. Mm-hmm. We started it late one night, and we were about 20 minutes in, and we were like, we are not, like, this is great, but we're not in the vibe for this. Like, we gotta, and we restarted it the next time, and we watched it all the way through, and oh my God, it's so good. And so, what's his name? Ryan Johnson?
Yeah, Ryan Johnson.
So The Knives Out series are fun. They're just good time mysteries, right?
Yeah.
This movie is a little different. This movie has like some great meaning. The performances are insane. And Josh Brolin as this priest is so good.
Yeah.
And so strange in his performance. And
Yeah, I felt like it took me a while to kind of lock into like what each character sort of represented. And it took a lot because it has a lot to say about like the Trump era and everything, but it also, you know, maybe this is what you're going to talk about, but like it's sort of reflection on faith I found to be really interesting.
Yeah. Well, and I liked the aspect of like you're kind of, I can't remember our main character's name, but you're kind of
Benoit Blanc?
No.
Oh,
I
Father
mean
Judd.
Father Judd. Yeah. So he's coming through and like he's kind of your he's your reasonable person in the room for everything. And everything that you said, you know, the kind of authoritarian comment, right? But also faith in the modern era. Like what is that to you? What can it be to people, right? But just overall, it was just front to back. I just loved it. I thought it was a wonderful story. I thought that Sarah said at the end, she said the first two movies walked so this could run. Like, you know, like this is just, it was, I loved that. I think that the third chapter in your series is the best film of them. Like they're getting better, which is great. I thought Glass Onion was probably better than the first one too.
I don't know. I have to revisit Glass Onion.
I think I have to revisit both of them before I really stand on that hill. But like I think that these are getting better, and that's cool. That's a really fun aspect of a mystery series.
I think it's cool that Rian Johnson clearly has, you know, he sort of made this deal with the devil with Netflix, and that's kind of over now. I think he's done his 3 movies or his 2 movies because I think that was what it was. I think it was to do Knives Out 2 and 3, and
cool.
then I think he's, you know, running off with the bag.
Please
of money.
make more, buddy.
But I think he really got to take the time to like really construct it, and really it feels very constructed. The writing is really good, you know? And I mean, Josh O'Connor, who plays Father Judd, is amazing.
Yeah.
And I don't know that there's very few other people, because the movie is basically just him for the longest time. Like Benoit Blanc doesn't show up. I mean, he's at the very beginning, and he doesn't show up for like, I don't know, half an hour or something.
Right.
So it feels actually, did you watch Poker Face?
Here and there, I haven't watched the whole thing.
It has a lot of it feels like Rian Johnson learned some lessons doing the mystery in miniature over and over again. Yeah. And that's how a lot of Poker Face will work, where Natasha Lyonne like wouldn't show up for like the first 25 minutes.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's a confident movie.
Yeah.
And I Rian Johnson's always been a confident filmmaker.
That is true.
But I like that he's never wavered.
Yes, I agree with that. But yeah, just all around awesome. Hey, by the way, the year of lyrics. I know that this song came out in 1999, but just a brief shout out to Tom Waits, and because I've been watching this TikTok lady who is like finding out about Tom Waits.
Oh yeah,
she's like listening to Tom Waits for the first time, and like it's just a really fun. It's probably all fake because everything on TikTok is fake, but her reactions to songs are really fun because it's Tom Waits and his music's crazy. But Come Down Off the Cross, we can use the wood.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
God, you really nailed it on that one, my dude.
That's one of the best Tom Waits lyrics.
That's
honestly.
Like such a good line.
All-timer. All right, so my number 9 actually is a song that's called Overture, second parentheses, Overture, Ship. And it's from the film The Brutalist. Okay. Which we both agreed about certain things from 2024 that are eligible for this year culturally. And I decided the same was true for a couple of movies from last year that I saw this year. Okay. So I saw Brutalist in theaters at the end of January of this year. Like, that's the thing about Oscar movies.
That makes sense. Yep.
And so, I don't know if you've seen, I think I showed you the trailer for The Brutalist at least. The overture is the song that goes like, ba-na-na-na. And it plays, I mean, the teaser trailer for The Brutalist might be as good as the movie.
Yeah, I really loved that trailer. I have not seen The Brutalist.
It's very long.
It looks long.
It's often...
From the trailer, it looks long.
It's sort of like both thrilling and ecstatic and like extremely frustrating in certain pieces, certain aspects of it. Like it does some really dumb things that you're like, why did this incredible movie make this incredibly simplistic choice? But you're like, I don't know. I guess maybe there's like a yin and yang thing here. Like it all has to balance out.
Okay.
So the other two movies that I wanted to mention that I really loved, and honestly, I think they're both better than The Brutalist, but The Brutalist has this iconic song. That's how it ends up on the list.
Okay.
The other two are Nickel Boys
Okay.
and Sing Sing.
Okay.
So Nickel Boys is a film that's based on the Colson Whitehead novel, and it's about two young boys who end up in this kind of like prison/school, and that was sort of set up to I'm having a hard time finding the words for this. It was like creating a form of indentured servitude for young black men. They would basically, in like the 50s or whenever this was taking place, they would basically just like come up with some reason, arrest these kids, put them in these schools.
Yeah.
And, it's very grim.
Yeah.
The things that happen in this movie are deeply upsetting. It's also filmed in first-person perspective.
Interesting.
Meaning that there are these two main characters, and you are seeing everything from one or the other's perspective. All the
Wow.
time.
That's a lot.
And it's amazing and difficult, and it's also doing it for a very specific story reason that is like a knockout punch. So, very upsetting movie. I never want to watch it again. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Yeah. Okay.
The other one is Sing Sing,
Right.
which is about like a theater program in a prison.
Yep.
And which used many of the actual former participants in this program as cast members in the movie.
Oh, that's great.
As well as Coleman Domingo, who
Right.
is a national treasure.
Absolutely.
And this is a beautiful movie. This is where Nickel Boys is beautiful and devastating, Sing Sing is beautiful and like life affirming. And yeah, it's a really wonderful thing. The movie was made, Sing Sing was made by this kind of writer director team, and they pair off back and forth. So they create the movie, they write the movie together, and then one of them directs. And so they made Sing Sing, and this year they made Train Dreams.
Okay.
So
great.
So they're two
Wow,
for two.
those are good back-to-backs. I haven't seen either of those movies. I just have heard great things.
They're both great.
Out of you.
So there you go. That's my number 9. It's the overture ship from The Brutalist, but technically it's Nickel Boys and Sing Sing in The Brutalist.
Okay, great.
Okay.
All right, so
You're
my
number
number 8. So my number 8 is also from 1999. And the reason is
Godzilla the movie.
No, the reason that it's the P. Diddy documentary. There is something about a needle drop when it's hilarious. Okay?
Of course, yes.
And this movie really nails the fact that there's something about picking the funniest song, okay? And I saw this interview with Mike Myers one time talking about Austin Powers and how he chose, I can't remember the artist name, but When I Think About You, I Touch Myself, that song. And he was like, literally the only reason is because I think it's the funniest song I've ever heard. Like, and he's like, still to this day, it's a hilarious song. It's the only reason I chose it, right?
Yeah.
And so my number 8 is from 1999. The artist's name is Genuine, and the song is Pony. Okay?
Yeah.
Because of the movie Thunderbolts.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? So in the midst of maybe one of the best action scenes in 2025. This is the limo scene fairly early on in Thunderbolts, where they're making their escape, and Red Guardian is taking them through in his limo, and he like says something like he's going to activate something protocol, whatever, and he hits it, and lights come on, and Genuine starts playing.
Right.
I laughed so hard at this. I laughed too hard at this scene, okay? Now, it may be because Genuine's Pony is one of my favorite songs of all time. I love that song so much. I love how vulgar it is, and I love that in 20 plus years later, it is used often. Like, it shows up often now.
It's true. It's still iconic.
And I think it's because like the people that are writing these were like kids when it was, prominent.
Oh,
or
there
something.
was some huge moments of like millennial culture is dominating everything this year.
Yes, that's
Like,
true.
It was very clear.
So I want to talk about Thunderbolts because I loved Thunderbolts.
Yeah. I think it's my second favorite superhero movie of the year.
I would agree.
And I don't think I have a third favorite.
Yeah, I don't know that I do either. So I don't know that I do either. So I want to shout out for the second time, John Wah, our friend of the show, John Wah, put Thunderbolts pretty low on his list of like 25 favorite films. It's like 17 or something, you know? And now I will also not take this time to put up a gripe about Weapons being his number 4th favorite movie because, oh my God, Weapons is...
I didn't like Weapons either.
Weapons was awful. It was awful.
Okay.
And,
wow.
yeah.
See, I was like, I was hyped up.
I don't know why everyone is loving this movie so much. I don't know if it's because it broke through the public of like horror genre.
Well, I think the end of Weapons is pretty good.
The end is there are
fun.
things that happen in it that are absolutely horrifying in a very fun way, right?
Yes.
Like the first reveal of the house when whoever is peeking into the house and they see the people just like locked on the couch.
Yeah.
That was a horrifying
the
scene.
forks,
Yeah.
I need that out of my head forever.
Yeah.
I did really love when she's getting chased through the convenience store by Benedict Wong and she yells to the convenience store clerk. She's like, fucking help me.
Weapons is one of those movies that I'm like, I kind of wish I hadn't seen it because there are some very troubling things that rattle around in my brain. Now, that being said, we're talking about Thunderbolts. So, Thunderbolts, what a wonderful... See, this is the movie that has soul. This is the superhero that has soul.
And I will say there's 2 huge reasons for that. Florence Pugh is a huge reason.
Yes.
If they are not structuring Doomsday around Florence Pugh, they're crazy. All of these ads that are like, Steve Rogers
will return.
It's
Yeah.
like, all right, fine. But like, I want you to help me move on.
Yeah.
And the way you can help me move on is by centering your storytelling going forward around some real stars.
Yeah.
And Florence Pugh is that. She's the beating heart of this.
I think that there is going to be no doubt that Doomsday is going to be a wonderful, enjoyable movie. I don't exactly know why we're bringing the X-Men cast back.
Yeah.
Unless it's just to kill all of them, and that's fine, I guess. But give me a new X-Men.
That's the thing is I don't see the Russo brothers doing that.
I don't either.
I think they're good. I think they're uniquely good at this. I think this is the thing they're good at.
I agree.
I think they're pretty much not. I mean, they're good at directing episodes of Community.
Yep.
And about doing this. And I think that's it. And so I do have faith that this is not going to be like the Electric State or whatever other bullshit they've been making in the meantime. I do have faith that they can do it. But yes, I don't know. I
mean, now, granted, putting James Marsden in the classic Cyclops suit, yes, please. I would love to see that. Yes.
Yeah.
100 times, yes.
And I do love James Marsden.
Yes.
And I think he needs, you know.
He needs his...
Marsden?
Whatever.
Whatever it is. Cyclops. He's Cyclops to me. He always has been.
Or the robot from Westworld.
Oh, yeah, Teddy. Teddy in Westworld.
So,
oh, man.
So,
I forget about Westworld because that last season Westworld was so bad.
I never even watched it.
It's brutal. Anyway, Thunderbolts. You know what
Thunderbolts.
else is great about Thunderbolts? The score by Sun Lux.
Yes.
That is a very bold and great choice.
I agree.
On the MCU's part.
I totally agree.
I love that.
And I will also say this, okay? I'm blanking on Bob's actor's name. What's his name? He's what's his name? Son.
Pullman's son.
Yeah.
Something Pullman.
So Bill Pullman's son. Bill Pullman Jr. Whatever he is. So that was Sentry was supposed to be played by Stephen Young.
Yes.
I don't think it works with him.
He's almost got a little bit too much going on.
I don't know that it works with him.
Yeah.
You know, I think it was actually like from what I understand, it was just contractual stuff that led to his exit. But I don't think it works with him.
I think about Stephen Yeun in like Nope, and the way that he is able to. There's so much flickering behind his eyes.
Yeah.
That like you almost can't quite have that with a storyline as accelerated as the Bob storyline is.
Yeah.
In Thunderbolts.
Well, and I love, and I think that part of I think that whatever Pullman, Pullman Jr. Just is like perfect in this role. Like he's so good at being this kind of like almost like blank slate But also when the whole depression storyline kicks in, like it works. It just works so well.
Yeah.
And I don't know that the movie works as well without him in that role.
He's a character that has to sort of warm up over the course of the movie.
Yeah.
He's good at that. Steven Yeun starts out too
Yeah, we
human.
know him too well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I like Thunderbolts a lot. I also, you know what? People rag on Thunderbolts for its sort of reveal and then the sort of marketing gimmick of like changing the name of the movie while
Yeah.
it's still in theaters. I thought it was fun.
I thought it was fun too.
It does like that is the ending beat.
Yeah.
So you did sort of like I think they revealed it too quick.
I agree.
I think it should have been the second weekend the movie was in theaters.
It could have been a little bit further through, but
Speaking as someone who saw it on opening day, even still,
Right.
I was like a little too soon.
right. I did not. The reveal was not given away for me. I saw it early enough that that it was a surprise. But I agree, there was a little bit of a misstep when to release it. But that being said, they also probably had this conversation a million times, and they probably said, you know what, like forget it. After the opening weekend, we're going to reveal
internet moves
it.
fast.
Yeah,
you
we
got to
have
get the
to.
stuff out there.
Yeah,
yeah.
So maybe they did,
But like changing the posters and everything, like that's
That's
fun.
cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah.
Don't knock it. It's
Yeah.
cool.
It's
All right.
It's cool.
As the kids would say, it's not that deep. All right.
Yeah. all right. So my number 8. My number 8 is a song from a movie that I have not seen.
Great.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Song's a miracle. Okay. The song is Golden by Huntrix from K-pop Demon Hunters.
Oh, okay.
Have
Great.
you heard this song?
I've seen the movie.
Okay. So that song
Yeah.
is incredible.
Yeah. I agree.
First heard it
Yeah.
performed at the Macy's Day Parade.
Hilarious.
And I was like, what the hell is this? Like,
Yeah.
this is amazing.
Yeah. So we, being in education, we like to keep up with.
Yeah, you
my
gotta keep up with
household.
what the kids are
My
into.
household keeps up with. I
Yeah.
knew what 6'7" was a long time ago. All right. So Sarah came home and was talking about it, and she was like, "Yeah, they've everybody's really into this movie, K-pop Demon Hunters," and I was like, "Yeah, put it on." It's you should watch it, dude. It's
Yeah,
great.
we will watch it. I was gonna try to assess whether it's something the boys could watch.
It's a little dark. I don't know. I think they'd be fine with it, but mostly because the villains are you kind of like them the whole time.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you know the premise, but the demons are they're a boy band.
Another band, yeah.
Yeah. So you're kind of supportive of them the
Yeah.
whole time. I don't know. I'd have to. Yeah. I mean, there's the demon aspect of things. Would maybe freak them out a little bit, but
I feel like they're getting pretty hard. We watched
think they'd
Home
be-
Alone.
Yeah.
And Isaac, there were parts of it that Isaac was a little bit nervous about, but like, I remember being terrified of the furnace in the basement of Home Alone. He's afraid of the furnace.
Right.
And I remember being really afraid of the neighbor.
Yeah.
And I think neither one of those things really like viscerally terrified them the way it did when I saw that movie. And I was probably older than Arlo when I saw it.
Sure.
So, yeah. So I think maybe we're entering a zone.
I think you could probably do it.
We've also been reading this 5-minute Star Wars stories book
Yeah.
and listening to them hear Star Wars stories. I'm like, we might be ready for Star Wars.
Cool.
Like the first one.
I want to come over.
Okay.
All
right.
Yeah, no,
On the
K-pop
list for
Demon Hunters
2026.
it's great. And also, there's just something about that it's a great story. And so that's the thing with like a cultural kids. The reason that this is the reason that kids this age from, like 10 to whatever, 15, they crave culture. Right? They crave having their own things. That's why kids latch on to something like 6'7", which doesn't mean anything, yet they love it.
Yeah.
And they look at you and they laugh because you're like, that's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yeah, well, whatever.
That's our thing.
Like, that's our thing,
Yeah.
right? They want their own thing, right? And so a lot of it's stupid, which is fine because they're kids, right?
Yeah.
But like K-pop Demon Hunters, what I love about it is it's a good story, and it is meaningful. It's well put together. The songs are awesome.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do a movie, this is the rule about movies and music. If you're going to do a movie about music, boy, oh boy, the music better be good.
Yeah.
And
It's the that thing you do test.
It's exactly what I was going to say. Is that thing you do because that is the perfect example of it. And so K-pop Demon Hunters is across the board awesome. Yeah, great,
cool. All right, what's your number 7?
A track called La Jugulara or La Jugular. I'm not bilingual. I don't know. It means the jugular. It's from Rosalia, the album Lux.
Yeah.
Now. This
not
album,
even bilingual. This is full on polyglot.
Yes, absolutely true.
This album is in like what 12 languages or something.
Yeah, so it is an exploration of female deities or just religious figures from across all different cultures. Spotify has introduced a translation aspect of things. Okay.
Oh, yeah? I didn't know
And
that.
so when you pull up lyrics like this, right? Down at the bottom, there is a different language button. Okay.
Oh.
And so down, if you're looking at your Spotify, if
It's
you're
funny,
a
it's
Spotify
showing you all the
listener-
different languages. The part where she goes into Arabic is in
right.
Arabic.
Is
Cool.
it written in Arabic? Absolutely. So you're able to click that button and it will give you the American.
Oh,
okay.
cool.
Now, so I listened to this album front to back. It's amazing. She would not like you referring to it as anything other than pop music.
Sure.
I mean, everyone was like, "You wrote an opera," and she was like, "This is pop music. I don't know what you're talking about." Mm-hmm. The song that is in Arabic, well, she mostly like starts in Spanish or even English, and then will like most of the time like the chorus of the song is in the traditional language that she's writing about. But there is there's a moment in this song. This could be a poem by itself. I'm going to read the entire thing really quickly because it's perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a little bit of a lead in that's like free from promises, free from threats. Okay. Then it goes, I fit in the world and the world fits into me. I take up the world and the world occupies me. I fit in a haiku and a haiku takes up a country. A country fits in a splinter. A splinter takes up a whole galaxy. The whole galaxy fits into a drop of saliva, and a drop of saliva takes up Fifth Avenue. Fifth Avenue fits into a piercing. A piercing takes up a pyramid. And a pyramid fits into a glass of milk. And a glass of milk takes up an army. And an army fits into a golf ball. And a golf ball takes up the Titanic. And the Titanic fits in a lipstick tube. And a lipstick tube takes up the sky. The sky is the thorn. The thorn takes up a continent, and a continent can't fit into him.
Walt Whitman is nodding in approval.
Right?
Like the Robert Redford gif from Jeremiah Johnson, you know?
Yeah, exactly. This album is beautiful and fun front to back. The lyrics are gorgeous throughout the whole thing. And now, this is kind of one of those moments in a person's career where you're kind of like, boy, oh boy, what do you do after that? Because you just did it, you know? You wrote the opus, so... I don't know, maybe retire. Like it's that good. It's so good. And highly recommend sitting and just reading along with the songs because that's just such a good way to go about it. This is the year of lyrics. Well, lyrics came back this year.
And this feature you're talking about, the translation and everything, it's like this is a kind of album that couldn't happen any other way. I mean, I guess it could. There could be liner notes, I suppose I should say. Like,
yeah.
There could have been. There's been a couple of year period between when albums ended and streaming took over where this wasn't possible, and now it's possible again.
Yes.
And that's nice. We're like I don't really like that Spotify keeps asking me to watch videos instead of a song.
Me
They're always
too.
like, switch to
Yeah, I don't
video.
like that
I don't
either.
like that. I don't mind it with podcasts, but I don't like it with songs. Music videos are different than songs. They are.
Yeah.
You have to have the song should be separate from the music videos sometimes.
I like the feature option, but don't push it on me.
I don't like
this.
when I'm skipping through songs on Spotify. Sometimes got a special presentation version, and I got to click 3 times to get past this song.
I agree.
I'm indecisive. I need to be able to jump around a lot. But anyway, the features on various streaming services, both visual and audio, are like it's getting interesting.
Well, and like I haven't listened to the Avett Brothers in years, but a perfect example of this was like a few years ago. They did like a commentary part of their album, but like that would just get mixed into their discography.
Yes, I heard this happen with Yo-Yo Ma's
Yeah,
Spotify
and
page.
it's like you guys should be able to filter that out.
Yeah.
No, thank you. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like, there's no reason that should be included on, like, if you hit shuffle play on a artist, that I should have to hear Scott Avett's Southern drawl come on all of a sudden and be like, well, this is why I wrote this song.
My next choice, my number 7. This is like Peacock Corner
Okay.
because I picked the K-pop Demon Hunter song in part because of seeing it at the Macy's Day Parade, and that's like. We've talked personally about how this has been like a real cursed holiday season.
Oh, yeah.
And I have mixed feelings about the holidays in general, but one bright spot for me every year is watching the Macy's Day Parade with the boys. Like I love doing it every year. So that was my recognition of that. Another big Peacock thing this year was the Saturday Night Live 50th, sort of its overall celebration. And I think they did a very good job.
I think they did too.
Not only was the 50th special really good, but all of the supplemental stuff was really good.
Yes.
I watched the Questlove music documentary.
Yes.
I watched all the little miniature behind the scenes
Me too.
documentaries. I watched Downey Wrote That, which is about.
I still haven't watched that yet, but oh boy, I really
It's
want
really,
to.
really, really fun.
I bet it is.
It's too bad though, because he is very funny in One Battle After Another.
Yeah.
And the documentary got made before that happened. So
Yeah.
they don't get to talk about him being in One Battle After Another.
Just to briefly interrupt you, he's also in The Chair Company.
Yes.
And I heard them talking about it, and he was like, I've never been an actor, and he goes, and I had to go to Robinson, what's his name?
Tim Robinson.
Tim
Yeah.
Robinson, and be like, I have a scheduling conflict. And he was like he had to like leave the show for a few days to go film One Battle After Another.
wow.
And he was like, this is the first time in my career this has ever happened.
And he could not possibly be playing different people.
Yeah, that's true.
In The Chair Company, he's so like he's like sweet, but somehow also menacing.
Yeah.
Like, whatever happened at his party.
Yeah.
But I was like every single time the Christmas Adventurers were on screen in One Battle After Another, I was like cackling with glee.
Yes, me too.
And he's so funny. Anyway, my number 7 song is The Waiting.
Okay.
The Tom Petty song, as performed by Eddie Vedder.
Yep.
At the SNL 50th concert, just because it was just wonderful, and I have never been like an Eddie Vedder guy, but
No, me either.
watching him perform it, I was like, I get it.
Yeah.
And then he showed up later singing the Jack Sparrow part in the Lonely Island medley, which was
Yes.
also really good.
Yeah, it was.
I think those were the two. Well, that and Lauryn Hill were like the highlights for me.
Yep.
And Cher, oddly, Cher was amazing. But anyway, The Waiting, Tom Petty, Eddie Vedder. Yeah, it was just great, and it was kind of, this is my spot in the list to say like, SNL 50th people, you did it.
Yeah,
Like,
no, they
you
did.
properly recognized the 50th anniversary.
They absolutely did. I really loved watching all of those different things. And the music documentary that Questlove made was really, really good.
A lot of
And
commercials in that documentary, but that's okay.
I don't
'cause
remember that, but okay.
Well, it depends on probably what kind of version of Peacock you have. I have the version with the ads.
I have your version, I assume.
Oh,
so,
yeah. But it was broken up by segments, so it was okay.
So, I really loved that SNL celebrated the music so much, because that is such a huge part of SNL that I really liked that they were like, this is just as much of a part of the show, like culturally. I liked the fact that they did Tom Petty. Eddie Vedder I think he's just, the reason that we aren't so up on Pearl Jam and everything is because I feel like we were just outside of the age group
just a
for
little too
that.
young.
Little too young for him. Because like I have older friends that Eddie Vedder is like their god, So, but Tom Petty, very much our age group, and very much we love Tom Petty.
Yeah.
So it's fitting on both levels.
Yeah. All right. So what's your number 6?
I don't normally look at your page, but what's incredibly funny about what I am about to say
Yeah.
is my choice is Will You Go, Lassie Go from Sinners.
Oh, nice. All right, we might as well do it at the same time then.
I agree.
Because my number 7 is I Lied to You.
Yeah. So I looked down at Zach's page just now, and I was like, in all caps, I see the name Sinners at 6, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe we lined up. So, Sinners is, I think it's tied with my favorite movie of the year. I loved that it was like a love letter to music.
Yeah.
Like if you heard that a black storyline was going to use blues and jazz as their heroes' music, and then you heard that the villain's music is like Irish folk songs, you would be like, okay, that's, like there's obvious like racist aspects of that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But it's not,
right?
Because it is literally using two music of two oppressed peoples.
Yeah, and really drawing that line between them.
Yes. And it was like the way that all the music was implemented throughout it, like Pick Poor Robin Clean, that when that song comes on and they're like, it's like the haunting, horrifying vampires at your door. Yeah. Like that was, boy, could they have picked a better song?
Those choices are amazing.
But so Will You Go, Lassie Go, my choice,
yeah.
right, is from a like 1700s Irish poet. Doesn't really come into play until like surprisingly like the 1950s when another poet puts it to music and it becomes this folk song, right? But it is a wonderful, amazing piece of music that I now play all the time. Like when we get together with Sarah's family, like we sing that song because it's a perfect song and it's so beautifully recorded in this movie that like this is the version that I listen to, and that's pretty amazing for a folk song that's been around for 100 years. Like so just the music. Like I cried for like 20 minutes after Sinners ended. I just sobbed because I was like, this was perfect.
Yeah.
It was so good. It was so good.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. All right. So let's talk about your choice.
Well, I think, first of all, we're just speaking about Sinners in general. Like, I didn't know it was going to be a movie that was so about, music and about music's literal power of transcendence. But when Michael B. Jordan is in the car with his cousin and his cousin starts singing for the first time and Michael B. Jordan's reaction to it is so wonderful. It's like, that's why Michael B. Jordan is like the king,
I totally agree.
Because he can do that. And just the reaction is like what makes that scene. And then toward the end of the movie, when they're in the water at the end as the sun's coming up, like that's the most beautiful image of the year. It looks amazing.
It does.
And the scene in which I Lied to You is performed is, to me, this is the scene of the year. I was thinking about how, there's movies that are the best movies and there's movies that have the best scenes. And last year it was the Notes app scene in Hitman. It was just like the most amazing. It was the kind of scene that when it ends, you want to stand up and clap.
Sure.
And when this scene started happening in Sinners, when I saw Sinners in theaters, and when this happened, I was like, I literally feel like I'm levitating. Like I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah.
And it's so unusual. This is the like piercing the veil sequence.
Right.
Where his song starts to move both forwards and backwards in time, and people start to appear in the juke joint from the past and the future. And I mean, it's amazing. People keep circulating the page of the script that articulates exactly what this is, like the vision of this moment. I love that when you watch this movie on HBO now, the aspect ratio changes.
Yeah.
In a few key scenes. Because I saw this in RPX, so that didn't happen when I was in theaters. Like I didn't go see it in IMAX. So yeah, incredible scene. Love the song. Miles Caton is like, a new talent to watch.
Yeah.
Like this is a real deserving and introducing Miles Caton.
Yes.
I think I'm pronouncing his last name right. But anyway, that kind of credit in a movie is awesome and that's like That's like a public service that like directors used to do. Like they would find people and bring them to you.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like that happens very often, but I feel like it happened 2 times this year with Chase Infinity from One Battle After Another and with this guy from Sinners.
I agree.
It's like Ryan Coogler is, I mean, he's the guy. Like
Yeah.
Ryan Coogler, I think Black Panther Wakanda Forever was like fine, but I think it was like, you know, he needs to come back big, and he did. He came back big. He's at the top now.
Well, and I will say, you know what is the most important thing that came out of Wakanda Forever was the telling of Namor's story.
Sure, yeah.
Like that could have been a whole other movie by
There's
itself.
a guy he found, Tenoch Huerta.
Yeah. So like that's a perfect example of like how within a movie that's not, you know, amazing across the board, you have that story, and like that story is done perfectly.
Yeah.
So I will also say about this scene, right? I love the fact that we are introduced, the first words of the movie are a prelude, if you will, where they explain this power.
Some songs can
right?
do that. Yeah,
Some artists, some songs just are magical.
Right.
Like, okay.
I do kind of wish they hadn't repeated that when the song starts, but it's okay. Like,
I agree.
They repeat that voiceover bit.
Yeah,
and I was
but
like,
maybe some people need that,
people
right?
need a little hand-holding.
So,
yeah.
but that introduction to this, and then we shut up about it. You see the movie, and that scene happens probably like halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
If not a little further.
Yeah, because once the movie starts to wrap up, it wraps up fast.
Yeah,
like
it does.
The end of that movie goes really quick.
Yeah, well, and I think hailing it as a vampire movie is hilarious because like the vampires are like, it's so little as far as the actual like thing that happened.
Yeah.
You know, it's like this thing happens at the end.
Yeah.
But overall, like the fact that we tease this at the beginning and then we don't talk about it until it happens is really fun. And I like that it's not like overplayed up. Like the vampires are aware of this dude's power and they're like, we got to get that guy. But other than that, it's not really like hinted at too much. And then all of a sudden it happens and you're like, oh shit, here it is, you know?
This was also this is a year of arrival for Jack O'Connell, who plays the main vampire guy.
He was awesome in it.
All right, let's talk about your number 5.
Number 5. We're getting there.
Yeah, we're halfway through.
So my number 5 is from the album Who Wants to Talk About Love by Jadebird. Now, Jadebird is one that I've been up on for a few years now because her self-titled album came out a few years ago. And the title track, if you will, is called Who Wants. And it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. The whole hook to it is, who wants to talk about love when it's all gone? Better to sit in the dark with the lights off. And it's like, yes, it is, Jadebird, yes. And it's just what I like about her music is that it's very straightforward, just like, I'm either going to do a really pretty, meaningful song or I'm going to rock your socks off. It's one or the other. That's what I do. And so this album is mixed bag. Some's great. Some's like, I don't know. But like it's not, I mean, her if I'm teasing people to listen to Jadebird, start with her self-titled album. It's amazing, front to back. But this album's great, and that song "Who Wants," I listened to it probably 150 times this year because it's just such a good, just gets you going, you know.
Nice.
Very little else to say about it.
Well, I don't know this song, but I'll have to check it out. All right, so my number 5 is a song that's called "Lowly." It's performed by Young Fathers, and it's from the movie 28 Years Later.
Okay.
So this movie, I avoided specifically seeing in theaters because I thought it was going to be way too violent and disgusting for me to handle.
I agree.
And it is. And yet, it's also one of my favorite movies of the year.
Me too.
And a huge part of that is because of Ralph Fiennes.
Yes.
And the way that storyline with the boy and the mother resolves, it's like brutal and beautiful.
Yeah.
It also is just because the movie looks completely nuts. Like,
yes.
You know, it's shot on all these tricked out iPhones And it's like the whole time you're like, I don't understand this at all.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand what I am seeing. It doesn't look like a movie. It doesn't look like anything that's ever existed before visually. And it's just and I guess that feeling, that the feeling that the visuals create is bolstered by this score that's created by this hip hop group, Young Fathers. And like the whole time I was watching the movie, I was like, what is this music I'm hearing? I know Danny Boyle is like incredible at this stuff.
Yeah.
So I was surprised and delighted to learn that he wasn't just like cherry picking songs. This was a custom score created by this band.
I agree.
For this movie.
Well, and music's such an important part of the first movie that I really like that how this one takes the next step further.
Yes. This is a huge year for movie scores, by the way. Like we didn't mention in Sinners, but the guy who did Oppenheimer, what's his name?
I don't know.
Well, Childish Gambino's longtime producer, who is also the guy, Ludwig Göransson, who did the score for Sinners. The score in Sinners is amazing.
Yes, it is.
Especially in the beginning, as you're getting introduced to this world as Smoke and Stack kind of travel around. It bridges everything together in this incredible way. One Battle After Another, also incredible score. And another one is Marty Supreme. Marty Supreme has like an incredible score.
You've seen it?
Yeah.
And you liked it?
I really liked it.
Boy, it's a real... The world is really mixed on this film.
Well, so this is the thing, right? So the Safdies, this is just one Safdie brother.
Right.
The Safdies did Uncut Gems.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say that Uncut Gems was incredibly stressful.
Yeah.
And I always feel like there's something wrong with me because I found Uncut Gems to be so enjoyable.
Okay,
And I
interesting.
did not feel stressed out at all. And I felt the same way through all of Marty Supreme. I felt like incredibly delighted. It is a movie about like a guy who can't stop and horrible things keep happening.
Yeah.
Because of his inability to stop. But I was all in.
Yeah, well, and Timothée Chalamet is like one of my favorite actors out there right now. So I'm definitely going to see it.
He's on a hot streak now. People have been saying that he is sort of intentionally being a jerk in his promotion of the movie.
Yeah.
Because his character is a jerk, but also because he doesn't want to beat Leo. He's like not campaigning to win the Oscars.
Yeah.
Having seen both movies, like it's Leo's. It's Leo has to win.
Yeah, yeah.
But still.
Yeah.
I think it would be funny if Michael B. Jordan was able to run in both lead actor and supporting actor.
Yeah, that'd be
Sinners.
great. that'd be so funny. That'd be great.
Or just get nominated twice.
So, 28 years later, like, it was shocking how good it was. Like, I was not prepared for. I was ready because I was like, I loved 28 Days Later, like back in the day. Like that was one of my favorite horror movies for decades. And like this is the perfect sequel. Let's just forget 28 Weeks Later ever took place.
The movie basically cuts it out.
It does, and also is like but more importantly, like they just did this. This was perfect. This was so good. Who plays the dad? I'm blanking on the actor right now.
Oh man, yeah,
right.
Kraven the Hunter.
Yeah. Oh, Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
So my one gripe with this movie is that when we cut to the Ray Fiennes scenes, like that storyline, is that we don't really check in on him at all, and it feels like. Why didn't we just couldn't we have seen that he's like looking for the kid or whatever? Like I don't know, it felt like a little it
almost feels like it's sort of two short stories stuck together,
which I'm fine with
this wacky Jack O'Connell plot in the middle. I mean on the bookends.
Well, and I'm fine with that. It just felt very much to me like a little disjointed.
Sure.
Now upon rewatch I might be like, I'm totally wrong about that, and it's fine.
Good question.
But it's one of those things where as I was watching it, I was kind of like, okay, but we're gonna pretend like he's just sitting at home right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It felt like there should have been a storyline. Now, mostly because I loved as far as world building goes, the village that they live in.
Yeah.
Like I was like, this is perfect. This is exactly what it would be like.
Yeah.
So
I love the idea of the land bridge with the tides.
Yeah,
and
me too.
everything. Really cool.
well, and it's like those places exist on Earth.
Yeah.
And guess what? That's where people would be right now, you know? So I that was my one gripe with the whole thing, was that I was kind of like, okay, but we did such a good job building this village up and everything like that, that like, why are we completely absent from them now? That being said, it's like a perfect movie. So me having that gripe is very stupid, but it's just one of those things that I like, as the viewer, I was kind of like, I'd like to see him again. I really liked him. Like, so overall though, I mean, 10 out of 10, that movie is amazing.
I was shocked by how much I enjoyed it and how moved I was.
How do you
by
feel
it.
about the fact that they're like pressing out a sequel thing to
I think
this?
so. Basically, it seems like part of the deal that Danny Boyle made was like, we'll do another one. If this is a successful one, we'll have another one already going.
Yeah.
And if that one's a success, then I can make another.
Yeah.
So it's because Nia DaCosta is directing The Bone Temple.
Okay.
I mean, I'm definitely going to see it.
Yeah, me too.
So
It just felt like very quick and
it is really quick.
And, like,
but
why
it
is
seems
this-
like that was part of the idea, though. And maybe partly because the kid's young. The kid who is sort of the main character.
Oh,
And
okay.
so you got to make these movies quick.
Well, all I felt about it was like it literally feels like when an artist records too many songs and they go, "Oh, well, this is the part 2 of the album,"
Yeah.
and you're like, "But these are just like the outtakes, right?"
Well, if this movie centers more on like Jack O'Connell and the evil Power Rangers, that he is like the king, then I'm like, all right, this will be great. Like,
Yeah.
I'm all for it. I'm a little worried what's going to happen with Ray Fiennes.
Yeah.
You know, I want him to make it out.
Yeah.
but I'm not hopeful about that.
Yeah.
All right. So what's your number 4?
Okay, so here's some. We're entering the real.
Yeah. This is when it gets
Overlap.
Yeah. This is
My number 4 is New Threats from the Soul.
absolutely. This is my number 3. Okay. So we can go a little out of
You
order
can flip
here.
flop or whatever.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
So this back X amount of months ago, I get a text. It is from my brother Zach. My brother Zach says to me, "Hey, Mackenzie just sent me this album. It came out today."
Yeah.
And the first track plays, and it is New Threats from the Soul, man.
A 9-minute opus
Yes.
to kick off this song. I'd never heard anything by Ryan Davis before.
Nope.
I'd never heard his previous band, State Champion.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing.
So, by the way, again, huge shout out to our friend of the podcast, Mackenzie. There's a picture of him right over there.
Yeah, there is.
Who did his exact words were, he texted it to me. He said, "This is likely a Zach Little Hood classic." I went back into our message thread to like get the exact wording, and I had to scroll past a very long stretch of Mackenzie and I talking about how in love we are with Amanda Dobbins from The Big Picture. Shout out to the podcast The Big Picture, another huge part of my 2025. But yeah, so Ryan Davis and the Red House Band. It's like, I guess if you've never heard this band, it's like, it is kind of like Pavement a little bit and like Silver Jews, but then also like Joanna Newsom in
Yeah.
like the density of the lyrics. Like if you pull up the lyrics to New Threats from the Soul on Google and you look at the lyrics, it's like, it looks like a novel.
Have you
Like,
been
it's
able to learn all of
incredibly
them?
dense. No.
Zach's been trying to learn this song the
Yes.
whole year, basically.
I did write down a big stretch of lyrics from the song because this is just how great the song is. I'm scrambling to find Christ in all the places I'm told he likes. Tomorrow is a white dwarf shining what's left of its light forth from a life once bold and bright, and I will never be anything other than a caged bird swinging from a chain swing, whistling for my pay seed.
Yeah.
Dog. What?
Yeah.
I mean, amazing.
Yeah.
And what I love about this too is that half of these songs are like 10 minutes long. They're like 3 chords. And yet they have like 7 different hooks.
Yes.
You know, like that part with the, and I'll never be anything.
Yeah.
Other than a caged bird.
Yeah. So, well, I and like a perfect, like almost, instead of New Threats from the Soul, I almost chose Monte Carlo.
I almost chose Crash Shadows at Walden Pond just because I thought you would pick New Threats from the Soul.
So,
Yeah.
Monte Carlo No Limits,
Limit,
is one of those songs too where like there's like 150 movements within
Yes.
this thing, and they're just everyone like made the Black Country New Road connection to this band, right? Like
Sure.
where they're kind of like similar in chaos,
Yep.
and whimsicality, I guess.
Yeah.
But what I like about the Roadhouse Band is that they are a little more listenable.
Yeah, I mean the new BCNR record from this year is it's a little homeworky.
Yeah.
Like there are huge pockets of incredible like sonic pleasure to it.
Right.
But it's not like it doesn't. I read a review once that called the Roadhouse Band like the friendliest saloon band in the Wild West or something.
Yeah,
And
there
it's
you
like
go.
it is
That's
like
perfect.
that. And it does have to do with the fact that it's at its root, these are like simple cowboy chord songs, but with these kind of elaborate like flute parts and whatever else.
Yeah.
And like crazy break beats and all this stuff thrown in.
The first time, so the whole but the first time they actually get and they sing "That's from the Soul," I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, this is
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Like it's so good. This band really just came out of nowhere from me as far as like just random text from my brother of like, yeah, all right, I've got the time, I'll pop it on. And it was like immediate like awakening, right? Like where you hear a song that you're never gonna forget that you heard it like that. Like
Yes.
it was like that. And like I texted Zach a couple of weeks ago, like, what are we gonna do about the fact that our podcast is just gonna be spent talking about Ryan Davis and Cameron Winter the whole time?
Yeah. Well, we're getting into it. The fact that New Threats from the Soul was my most listened to song of the year, and it's 9.5 minutes long, is really, I mean, every single listen counts for 3, really, because it's such a long song.
Yeah.
But there was a stretch of like 3 months where I listened to this song every single day, like at least once, maybe twice. I was so obsessed.
Yes.
And of course, you can just let the rest of the album play.
Yeah.
You know, for as long as you got to do whatever you got going on.
Right.
But like, the reason you put it on is to hear that song again.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why it ended up having to be the one on my list.
Yeah.
Like, I love every song on this album.
Me too.
There's no bad songs. There's only like 7 songs.
Yeah.
But this is the winner.
Yeah. I also just shout out on Monte Carlo too about the fact that like the whole premise is like, why'd you leave the Monte Carlo parked in the street? And at the like the last piece is like, I didn't leave it in the street. I wrecked it and I just left it there. But just overall, like, yeah, this band kind of breaks my brain listening to this music because it's so, I don't know, man. There's just certain stuff. Every once in a while you hear a band where you're kind of like, I could just stop being a musician because like, not because they're so good, but because it's like, there are people out there that are doing stuff that like you're doing this for us.
Right.
And
Yeah.
And boy, oh boy, is this album that. Like, it's just, this is so much fun. It's so much fun.
What they do most often and do so well is something that I don't know what you would exactly call it, where the song appears to be looping back to the same musical idea. And then when they get to where you expect them to do one thing, they suddenly take like a crazy left turn.
Yeah.
And then you're like, we're in a new song.
Yeah.
And it's not like, it's not a key change because it's not, because these songs
Yeah.
are all G, C, and D.
Yeah.
But it's like, but something else shifts radically and then never really goes back. It just adds in this new layer to the song.
Right.
So yeah, amazing album, amazing listen. All right, I mean, just to keep this going then. So wait a minute. So that was your number what? That was your number 4.
My number 4. Yeah.
And it was also my number 4. So now it's back to you for your number 3. Now I get it. I was lost for a second there.
I was lost too.
All right, what's your number 3?
Okay. My number 3 is Sabrina Carpenter, Man-Child.
Aha. Okay. So this is one place where we'll be a little different because I don't have any
Yeah.
Sabrina Carpenter.
I adore Sabrina Carpenter. I think that her music is hilarious and fun. And this album is, we've reached something here. The music sounds like Fleetwood Mac. She's this very independent, strong woman. Her songs are about how stupid men are. The cover of the album, you are on your knees with a man holding your hair, and that's gonna make people go nuts. That's awesome. And I think her humor is I always took like one of the best compliments I ever got was our friend George Barber said, I like how funny you can be in a song. And like, I'm not even that funny, but Sabrina Carpenter is hilarious in the things that she writes. And there's a song on this album called Go-Go Juice that's just basically about being depressed and single, and you just are around your house getting drunk, calling people. And like, it's just great.
Yeah.
It's just all around. It's just great. The album itself is like, she's had good albums before. This album is, we've reached the point, right? Like Harry Styles, when he put out Harry's House, it was like, oh man, you've reached that point of like creating something new within pop music.
Sure.
It's creative, it's catchy, it's fun. But you're doing something musically that is different. And that's what we're seeing with Man-Child is this album is crazy good across the board. And Man-Child as a song is like the catchiest of all songs, to the point that it was like stuck in my head to a troubling extent. When you listen to a song like too many times.
Sure, yeah.
That's what happened to me with Man-Child. And yeah, overall, just 10 out of 10. She had this amazing tour going on. I highly respect people that are able to pull off like these big shows, like even Taylor Swift, like Eras Tour kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Like, not a Swiftie by any means, but like good for you for being able to really pull off some fun entertainment for people.
Yeah.
Don't agree with your whole ticket prices, like bankrupting people, but it is what it is. Yeah. So overall, just great job, Sabrina Carpenter. We love you, and keep doing you.
I think the funniest...
Man's Best Friend is the name of the album.
Yeah.
I was calling it Man-Child. Man's Best Friend.
The joke on Saturday Night Live when she performed with Paul Simon, and he says, I sang the song with George Harrison on Saturday Night Live in 1976, and she says, I was not born yet, and neither were my parents. It's like it's the funniest. That was probably the hardest I laughed during the whole special. All right, so my number 3
Yes.
is a song called I'll Pay Du Cocaine by Geese from the album Getting Killed, which is my favorite album of the year.
Yes.
I could have picked any song from this album. Even like originally, when I first started listening to the album, I would always kind of blow past Trinidad just because it was like...
It's a lot.
It's a little aggressive.
It's a lot, yeah.
And I have since shifted totally, and I love that song, and I listen to it all the time now.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that we probably need to name this episode Like a Sailor on a Big Green Boat, the 2025 mixtape, because I probably can't get away with calling it There's a Bomb in My Car! The 2025 mixtape.
My brother-in-law, Ben, is also a crazy Geese fanatic at this point.
Okay.
And we started implementing things at Thanksgiving where like we would say a phrase, but in that thing. So like a fork fell on the ground, and we were going, "There's a fork on the ground." Geese. Okay, so
this album is extremely front-loaded with like the first few tracks of this album, like Cobra and Husbands.
Yes.
Are so good that I like was underselling the back half of the album for a while. And one day I was folding laundry and this song, I'll Pay Du Cocaine, came on, and like I felt like I got hit by a truck.
Yeah. To reference another Cameron Winter line, you've been hit by the bus of life.
Yeah.
So this song is my song of the year. This is number 1 on my list,
song?
actually. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I thought I was like being like clever by picking this song.
no,
but
this is my
okay.
favorite song of the year, and I listen to it every day. And it is. We
You can be free and still come home.
Well, and yeah, and
Beautiful.
it's I've cried to this song more than I think I've ever cried to any song ever.
Yeah.
And because there is something in this writing that is just, it's reaching a next level. it's just a mind-blowing song, right? Now, I actually am the opposite on that album. I mean, Cobra, obviously, 150 times, yes, was on my list up until today, where I decided that it had to be. In the Land of Cocaine is the translation of it.
Oh, funny. I didn't even know.
Yeah, so In the Land of Cocaine. There is something magical about being able to pull off what at face value is a very silly line of like a sailor in a big green boat. Like, is it coat first?
I don't know.
Yeah,
boat
like a
and
sailor
boat.
in a big green coat, like a sailor in a big green boat.
Yeah.
You can be free. You
Yeah.
can be free and still come home. I saw a really funny TikTok about. I've referenced TikTok a lot. You can
have,
tell
yeah,
that I'm
yeah.
doom scrolling at times this year. It's been a terrible year.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's this guy and it's like these lyrics. It's like this guy sitting at his desk and he's like, these lyrics are stupid. Cameron Winter's clearly an industry plant. All this stuff, right? And then it gets to the like a sailor part and it cuts to him on his couch and he's sobbing.
Yeah, well,
And like-
I feel very seen.
Yeah, and it's one of those songs that's like you created something really magical and haunting here that we just love so much. It's the year of lyrics.
It's the year of lyrics. It's also definitely the year of Cameron Winter.
Oh God.
But
Here's what I want to know. How is it possible that 3D Country has been out in the world since 2023 and I have not known about this band?
Yeah.
The algorithm has failed me, okay?
That's I just saw Thompson's Point, the venue in Portland, was posting from the photos from the year.
Yeah.
And they had a Vampire Weekend show in May. And
Yeah.
the opening act was Geese.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
You know, like by then I was up on everything.
Right.
I still somehow didn't know.
So the algorithm has failed me,
Yeah,
okay?
me
and
too.
here's why. We were
Only
talking
Mackenzie's out there looking for us.
we were
looking out
I
for
know.
us.
We were talking last night about Paul McCartney influence on
Yes.
on Geese, right? But there is a very massive influence, especially in 3D Country, of Ween. Okay,
Sure, yeah.
They might as well be Ween. Like the stuff that they do in this, and especially his voice stuff, like Ween was doing with like voice modulation. But like he can do it in real life.
Yeah.
But like these songs on 3D Country sound like Ween. And Ween has a country album. I listen to that album all the time. How is my algorithm not like, hey, by the way, you'd probably like this band that's doing the exact same thing in the 2020s?
Well, and I was listening to MJ Lenderman so much last year, and whenever I put on Geese songs, the algorithm puts on MJ Lenderman afterwards, and I'm like, why wasn't this happening in reverse?
Right. What is happening out there that we did not have this in our lives? And I look at it as a crime against the internet that I was not told about this album.
Well, everybody found out about Geese this year.
Very much so.
Which is great. Like, I'm all for it. I when a band blows up this fast, sometimes people do get bitter. You hear the industry plant allegations, that sort of thing.
Sure.
I think that
I don't get the whole
I think the
industry.
people are
I don't think
hungry.
those work anymore,
the
dude.
industry doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But I think people are hungry for something good and real and authentic and new. And I think
totally
that,
agree.
You know, a lot of people have kind of compared this to like when the Strokes first started, you know, like we've got a new New York band.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, Geese, great band, great album. This song is like crushing and beautiful. So yeah, that was my number 3. So what's your number 2 now that we know what your number 1 is already?
My number 2, I'm actually going to I'm going to flip around here because I'm realizing this is part of the whole, like, you know, doing surprise playlists for each other, right? Is that I'm realizing that we are going to miss one that I feel like need to be on the mixtape. Okay. So, and the reason is because as I'm looking at our lists here, I feel like you're not going to pick it. And I feel like it has to be on here, which is Punk Rocker, from Superman.
Yeah, you're right. I thought you were going to pick it, so I didn't do it. But yeah.
So is it a Stooges song or is it Iggy Pop?
It's Teddy Bears is the band. And
Oh, really?
They originally recorded a version of the song, or maybe not recorded. There's very bad YouTube videos of this band performing the song without Iggy Pop's vocals.
Okay.
But at a certain point, they got Iggy Pop to sing the song.
So the overarching kind of thing about like with punk rock in this movie.
Yeah.
All right. So we're talking about Superman. I
Which
don't know
is
if we
amazing.
said this
Yeah,
yet.
we can say it, yeah.
Talking
So
about Superman.
Punk Rocker by Teddy Bears featuring Iggy Pop as featured in the movie Superman. And the thing is, I already knew this song,
Yeah.
and I did not see this needle drop coming.
No, me either.
And it's awesome.
It's so good, and it's beautifully placed in this movie at the end. And but overall, like, I love the whole scene of him being like, well, like maybe that's what real punk rock is.
Yeah.
Is so much fun. This movie is obviously our favorite superhero movie of the year.
Definitely.
And maybe of like the decade, based upon just perfectly nailing.
It's the best one I've seen in a very long time of the new ones. Like
Well, and-
maybe since Avengers Endgame, yeah.
And the thing with James Gunn was I watched him talking about Guardians 3 and saying that, like, he's like, the goal is you're gonna watch this film and maybe you're gonna like feel differently about the people that are around you at the end
sure.
of it, And I was like, this guy is gonna write the perfect Superman movie.
Yeah.
And he did.
He's
he
very
did it.
big-hearted.
I was never a Superman guy until about 2018-ish. I started reading Superman comics because I don't know if I've talked about this on this podcast before, but when DC was going to release a streaming service,
Right, you signed up early.
I signed up early, and because it was a gigantic failure and they couldn't really keep it up with all of this stuff, they basically gave me 2 years free of using this app that had like every comic book ever on it.
Yeah.
And so I started going deep dive on DC Comics because I was always a Marvel guy. But I started after I had like I had done all the like weirder ones that I loved so much. Like I always loved Justice League Dark, which when he makes that movie, it's going to be incredible too. But I was like, all right, I'll try Superman, because growing up around our house, we had a copy of The Death of Superman.
Yeah.
And I was like, why would you ever do this? This is horrible. I don't even like looking at that comic cover because of our childhood and the fact that I was like, why would you ever kill Superman off? What's wrong with you people? And that's kind of like the same thing as why I liked Marvel so much. Stan Lee used to talk about how when he started it, they were in the midst of war. And he was like, I wanted people to forget about those things. I didn't want things to be serious. You shouldn't be worried about if your character is going to live or die.
Right.
You should be worried about just like forgetting your troubles for a while. That's why I think Marvel resonates with so many people all the time, right? We shouldn't be worried about our characters dying. We should be along for the ride. We're here for popcorn,
Yeah.
DC's not like that. DC's kind of dark sometimes. And so I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. I started reading Superman comics. I read All-Star Superman. I read a bunch of these like big ones, and I was like, oh my God, I get it. I get the hope thing. I get the, all of that, right? And it also coincided with an episode of Harmontown where Dan Harmon used to always rally against Superman, and how like we should all be along with Lex Luthor, because like Lex Luthor is our genius. And like Lex Luthor is so mad all the time that like people just don't love him. Why do they love Superman so much, right? And I can't remember who's on stage with him, but the person is like, the thing that you don't get is that like Superman doesn't want to be Superman. Superman wants to be Clark Kent. But he has to be Superman for us, right? And it like broke Dan Harmon, where he was like, oh my God, I finally get it, right?
Yeah.
So I finally got it with Superman. And James Gunn gets it. And that's why this movie is so good. It carries all of those things with it. It carries that hope. It's beautiful too. That scene where he's sitting in the chair and there's like Green Lantern and them are like fighting that whatever, like cosmic entity outside,
Yeah.
is so pretty. And there's so many of those scenes in that movie where, and also, by the way, you can basically never get me on a evil clone storyline. I'm always like, this is stupid. Even in Logan, I was like, this is stupid.
I remember being frustrated by that in Logan.
And I liked it in this. I was kind of into it.
Yeah. I this movie made me feel very hopeful about what superhero movies can still be.
Yeah.
Where it felt like the MCU experiment was kind of floundering, and I'm hopeful they can get it back. But it felt like James Gunn, he had a real message that he wanted to spread.
Yeah.
And it's just the right amount of corny.
Yep.
Like it gets it right.
Yep.
It's funny in that like sweet, here are my friends kind of way. Like, all right, shout out sort of to Peacemaker season 2, which I did like, but I felt like the first season of Peacemaker, you're like, these are my friends.
Right.
I like this group.
Right.
And the second season was too strongly going, these are your friends. These are your friends. And I was like, I know. You don't need to make it so that you're pushing me too hard.
Yeah, okay.
The show is insisting to me
Yeah.
that I love these people and they're my friends. And I'm like, no, I do that part. You don't do that part. I do it.
Right.
You tell me a story.
Yeah.
And I love the characters. You don't sort of skip a story just to tell me you love these characters. You
Right,
love these
right,
characters.
right.
So that's, James Gunn was writing Superman and Peacemaker season 2 at the same time.
The love was
give.
being drained, It had to be put into the script.
Yeah. So anyway, so Superman, I love James Gunn.
Yeah.
I never should have doubted him. I definitely was concerned when the Superman thing first came up, but it's like, what was I thinking?
Yeah,
Come on, of
I was
course.
never concerned about it. I was more concerned about when they actually gave him the reins to DC, where I'm kind of like, can you continuously do this? But boy, oh boy, I kind of feels like Supergirl is just going to be Guardians of the Galaxy again, and
Yeah.
I'm on board for
Why
that.
not? Right? Do it again.
Yeah,
Let's run it back.
I
Yeah.
like that we introed her when she shows up in Superman. I was laughing so hard.
Yeah,
I love the idea that she goes to red sun planets to get drunk.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it's funny. All right, so my number 2. We declared this album eligible, even though it came out in December. Okay, my number 2 is a song called "The Rolling Stones" by Cameron Winter, lead singer of Geese,
Yes.
who also released a solo album in December. I think they're sort of equally as good.
They are.
Neither one is better than the other. I think when you look at the line from 3D Country to the Cameron Winter solo album Heavy Metal to Getting Killed, you can see what he learned along the way.
Yep.
And what he's implementing now. But the Rolling Stones is the first song I heard. It's the opening track of the album.
Yep.
And it, I guess, like, it kind of rewired my brain a little bit. It's a very strange song. It's the most like warbly and weird sounding he is.
Yeah.
He sounds like he has his mouth pressed right up against the microphone, or
Yeah.
he's wearing a Bane mask.
Yes.
And the lyrics are really funny and strange. He sings like Brian Jones, "I was born to swim." Brian Jones is the member of the Rolling Stones who drowned.
Yeah.
But then, like, there's also something so sweet about the way he keeps singing, like, like "me and you, me and you." Mm-hmm. And so I was hooked immediately.
Yeah.
And I listened to that album a lot, but for some reason, this is the song I listen to the most.
So my number 1 is Nausicaa. Okay.
Yeah.
So Zach sent me this album and was like, you actually sent me just that song.
I did, yes.
And I have listened to this probably the most out of any song this year. And this album is, what I like about Cameron Winter is that I'm on board for anything with him. Like the biggest rock version he's amazing at, and the most broken down, just him on a piano.
Yeah, have you seen him do "Love Takes Miles" just on the piano?
Yes.
Yeah.
And God, oh God,
Yeah.
it's beautiful and amazing. He just played Carnegie Hall solo, just him on a piano.
Yeah.
And like, to do that, to keep that entertaining, and for, you have to be amazing. Mm-hmm. You have to be incredible to make me want to sit and watch hours of you just sitting on a piano.
Right.
And he is. Now, the one thing I will say about Geese is that everyone in that band is top of their game musician. Like the bass player is amazing. The drummer is amazing. The like everything about them are like musically, like you guys are raging.
Yeah.
Cameron Winter on a piano alone is like, holy crap, dude.
Yeah.
Like I don't think you're the best piano player in the world, but you got soul and you can really make that sound perfect. And so Nausicaa, what I love about this song is number one, centered in Greek mythology. It's a character from the Odyssey who's kind of a temptress towards the end, right? As much as I teach Greek mythology, I don't actually spend a ton of time. I don't do the Odyssey because one of the English teachers at our school teaches Ulysses, so I kind of leave that alone, right? So I spend a lot of time in like the earlier Greek mythology stuff, but this is also the name of a character from a Studio Ghibli movie.
Oh, yeah?
Okay. And I was sitting there thinking about the fact that the amount of pressure that like academics put on Cameron Winter, right? Like what I love about him is that it really could be that it's not that he is picking an Odyssey character and that he's picking it from an anime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, now I know that it isn't because I watched an interview with him where he was talking about books and he brings up the Odyssey and this character specifically. Yeah. But I was like, how funny is it that we could all be like, yeah, you know, and he's literary too. He chooses characters from the Odyssey. And then he's like, yeah, nah, it's from a movie I watched one time. Like it could be that, you know? And so that's, and there's like, that's another thing with him is the simplicity of lyrics where there's this really important meaning behind it, right? But it's kind of simplistic in its craft or something.
Yeah, I mean, even some of the most like incredible Cameron Winter lyrics are very simple. Like, love will make you fit it all in the car.
Yeah.
Like, damn, that's amazing.
I was a car and now I'm the road. I love that song. I love that so much.
So Nausicaa, really incredible song. Like kind of this like neo lounge singer thing with the horns and everything. And just when that song gets really big toward the end, like it's incredible.
But like, and his voice in those, I mean, again, his voice you could talk about all day long.
That actually might be my most played song of the year, actually.
See, I wonder about it too. But when like, tell me how it feels, and then he goes,
it's number 2 right behind New Threats for the Soul.
Oh, there you go. He goes, you can't stay here. I love that so much. Like the tone of his voice in those moments are so good.
Yeah.
And like he just I that's one thing too is like he really knows how to place the perfect moment, right? Like where his voice kind of breaks in Opes de Cocaine.
Yeah.
Like at certain moments, it's like, oh man, you did that on purpose and you did it perfectly, dude. Like his voice is really, really, really beautiful and amazing.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's got that such a wide range is crazy.
Yeah. And it feels like there's kind of more for it to do too. Like from 3D Country to now, it feels like he's learned a lot with his voice, and I feel like there's even more yet to discover. So all right, so my number one, my number one song, number one item on the mixtape is American Girl by Tom Petty.
Yes.
The final needle drop of the movie One Battle After Another.
Yes.
Which is my favorite movie of the year and like my favorite movie in maybe like 10 years.
Yeah.
I've watched it a couple of times to like sort of confirm it. Like, was I being tricked somehow? And it's like, nope, this is the real deal. This is my movie. I'm willing to make a significant percentage of my life about this movie.
Yeah.
And I guess so when this song came on the first time I saw the movie, I like immediately started crying. And I think that when I think about it, a lot of people have very complicated political opinions about what One Battle After Another is supposed to represent. And, you know, I was just sent by a coworker a video essay by a guy who like talks about it being this thing about like the Obama legacy or whatever. And I'm like, Maybe that's true. That's fine. Maybe I'll watch that video essay. But to me, what One Battle After Another is about is in the title of the movie.
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
Life is one battle after another. And
Yes.
you got to try to do the right thing.
Yes.
You got to try to be right by the people in your community. You know, I think that Sensei Sergio is like a very important character in that he's this obvious community builder. And not only is he a community builder, he's there to remind Leonardo DiCaprio all the time. Like he's always telling him, "Ocean waves, Bob." You know, like he's trying to get him to calm down. He says, "Don't go dark on me, Bob."
Yeah.
And I say those things to myself all the time, you know, to keep myself in the right headspace. I'm like, "Ocean waves, Bob. Ocean waves, Bob. Don't go dark on me." And so what I love about American Girl at the end of the movie is that we're watching Chase Infinity go off to go do something else, you know, to go have another adventure. And she's an American girl. You know, this is a person who, like, the character is a biracial young girl who has been through a lot, but is still fighting, you know? And I think that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
To be like, this is America, right? We are. This is what's happening here. This is America. Always fighting for the right thing, accepting that life is one battle after another, and continuing on, getting up and going out and getting in the car every day and going out and doing it is so important.
Yeah.
And I love that the movie like reflects those values. And that said, also, it's just like an incredibly, ridiculously fun movie to watch. I almost did dirty work as a needle drop here because that section of the movie where it jumps to 16 years later and you see Chase Infinity and Benicio del Toro on screen for the first time. Yeah. And it's so beautiful. Yeah. Like, I think the third time I watched this movie, I watched that scene like 5 times in a row. Like, I just kept going back to the dirty work needle drop just because, I don't know. I love this movie. I'm going to watch it many, many times over the course of my life. And that's why it's the most important cultural thing to happen this year for me. Let's talk about honorable mentions.
Honorable
what do you got?
mentions or dishonorable mentions.
Or dishonorable mentions, yeah.
So the biggest disappointment for me this year was Fantastic Four. Not because it's bad. It's not bad. It just lacks soul, is what I think. I can see that. Yeah. You know, it's a good movie. Like, I'm going to watch it again. It's not as good as I thought that it was going to be. Yeah. I think it basically is rides on the shoulders of Vanessa Kirby.
Agreed.
And like, you know, I'm kind of like, I'd watch that movie with her over and over again. I don't know. I mean, like, Pedro Pascal's great as Mr. Fantastic. His performance is a little strange because I think, you know, I feel like Marvel didn't have the balls to commit to him being autistic. And,
I feel like if you think about the beginning of that movie, you're like a lot of the current Marvel movies feel very chopped up. Yeah. And Fantastic Four doesn't really. Yeah. Except the beginning. The beginning feels like there was a whole opening that they cut down into a montage.
I agree.
And you don't feel the effects of the missing beginning until it's over. Yeah. And then you're like, why do I feel unsatisfied?
Yeah, I don't know. This movie moves at a rocket pace too. It's like, here's a baby.
Yeah. There's not a lot of action. Yeah. I mean, there are like sequences that people talk about, like the whole thing where they're like outrunning the Silver Surfer in space. Yep. And that's fine. Yep. But it's kind of like, I don't know. I guess it's kind of a chase.
I would actually say that the scene of them going to space and going to Galactus for the first time is probably the best, coolest, interesting scene of that movie. Yeah. Because there's at least some drama there. Yeah. It all just felt very like, you know, I heard a story from Peyton Reed years ago, right? Who was the original director signed on to this.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, the way that you do Fantastic Four, though, is you just need to crack the code on it. And I cracked the code on it. And I think what he was talking about was setting it in the 60s and making it like work like that. Yeah. But the thing is that there's more to it. And I think that one aspect of that is basically Mr. Fantastic is just Tony Stark in the comic books. He's just like what Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark was like.
Yeah.
So you already did that. So what do you do?
Right.
And that's why I kind of feel like Mr. Fantastic's character is a little lost in what this movie is, right? So overall, I was just disappointed because I didn't love it as much as I thought I was going to love it, which has been Marvel's problem this whole time. The only thing is, when the movie has some soul behind it, when it has some meaning for what it's doing, it is so much like, look at Thunderbolts versus Fantastic Four. Thunderbolts is so much more of a enjoyable experience and fun action movie. I do want to give a specific shout out for honorable mentions to Netflix for creating this series called Trainwreck, which is just one-off documentaries about like really terrible things that happened. Okay.
Oh,
like one of them is Astroworld.
Okay, yeah.
One of them is about the poop cruise, the cruise that got stranded out in the middle of the ocean.
So this is like 30 for 30?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've watched a ton of them. They're all fun. And they're really interesting because a lot of them are like, wow, it's so much worse than I even thought.
Yeah.
Astroworld is one where it's like, oh my God. There are a bunch of them. And like, I feel like this year I watched a lot of really good docuseries things.
Yeah.
Which I feel like in the past they've felt shoved out. Like as of the past few years, it's been like, yeah, we've got them about everything. And it's like, yeah, but I don't need it about everything.
Well, I watched a lot of like showbiz documentaries, not series, but documentaries this year.
Yeah.
And I did feel that kind of shoved out sensation about certain ones. I think I told you about the Howard, I forget his last name, but the documentary is just called Howard. He's like a songwriter for Disney. And half the documentary is just black and white pictures of him with people's voices. Yeah. And it's like, this is a podcast.
Yeah.
You know, like eventually there's some visual stuff, but it's like they just cranked it out.
Yeah.
And but there's one docuseries.
Just because Ken Burns does it doesn't mean that it's going to work, okay?
No. In general, there is a scourge of people thinking that they only need to do audio for interviews. One of the weirdest documentaries I've ever seen in this regard is the Martha Stewart one, Martha, on Netflix.
Yeah, I've never watched it.
The only person who sits for an on-camera interview is Martha Stewart. Everyone else is just voices.
That's weird.
So it keeps cutting to Martha Stewart, but then it's like Snoop Dogg's voice.
That's
and
weird.
Then they have a real shortage of visual material because when they talk a lot about Martha being in prison, obviously there's no video footage of Martha Stewart in prison.
Right.
So they do like cartoons, which is like so dumb. And it's like, if you had set the precedent that you were showing the people who were speaking on camera, you could just show those people for this part. Like we would deal with not having a lot of illustrative B-roll for a couple of minutes because we could just see the people talking, but instead we have neither. And then we have to do this dumb cartoon of Martha Stewart in prison, which sort of trivializes
crazy.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, the only good docuseries I watched this year was Mr. Scorsese, which is the 5-part thing on Apple TV.
Interesting.
That's very good. The Steve Martin one's okay. The Martin Scorsese one's very good. And a documentary, if you like Trainwreck, if you like dealing with that kind of shit, then the documentary that you'd really like to watch, which is on Paramount Plus, is called Predators. And Predators is about the TV show To Catch a Predator.
Oh, interesting.
And it is about the moral and legal implications of that show. It centers on like the people who played the decoys on the show and the sort of psychological toll that took. It finds members of law enforcement who objected to the way that they were doing things. It gets into some stuff that went really bad when they were making To Catch a Predator. And then it starts to focus on the YouTube copycats.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Guys who are on their own going out and trying to bust pedophiles and how dark that gets. And it is...
Wow, I got to see this. Yeah.
I will say that my own personal feeling about the documentary is that it's really good, and then I think it doesn't stick the landing. I think it gets a little too... much like Peacemaker, it gets a little too much like, this is how you're supposed to feel. And I think, like, I didn't need that. So anyway... but still a very good documentary.
Does the kid, I doubt it is because he's on TikTok. God, I've mentioned TikTok too much today. I watched a great reel the other day of this guy being like, let me tell you the story about when I was 15 and how I ended up on To Catch a Predator.
No.
And he is talking to a girl online and she's like 14 and he goes, well, I'm like 15. And she's like, oh, well, I like older guys. And he's like, oh, well, I was lying. I'm 20. And he ends up on To Catch a Predator and like gets arrested by all these guys because he never is like in the moment is like he doesn't know what's happening the whole time. He doesn't know who Chris Hansen is. He doesn't understand what's happening. And he's like, so like in the moment, he's like, I just think it's her dad. And I'm like, oh, I thought your dad wasn't supposed to be here.
Yeah.
and he's like, okay, well, I guess I'm just going to go home. And Chris Hansen's like, no, you're not going home. Like, and he's like, no, I think I am.
Man, I don't think that episode would have aired.
Yeah.
There actually is apparently they're making a movie, a biopic or a movie about To Catch a Predator as well, and Robert Pattinson is playing Chris Hansen.
Oh, great. Yeah. Also, God, Robert Pattinson, we love you so much, bro.
Yeah,
you do whatever you want.
Although I will say that one of my least favorite movies of the year was Mickey 17.
Yeah, I've heard. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
I do want to see it.
The movies I hated the most this year were Mickey 17 and Jay Kelly.
I haven't seen Jay Kelly either. So
Adam Sandler, innocent. Adam Sandler's great in Jay Kelly. The movie sucks.
Hey, you know what I saw that also is good, which is technically a 2024 release, but I was going to put it on my my like recommendations.
Yeah.
Spaceman with Adam Sandler is like a more serious film.
Yeah.
But it's about a guy that goes into space and he's just like alone the whole time. But it's good.
I mean,
he meets an alien. It's great.
Adam Sandler can act.
Yeah.
You know, it's true. The only other thing I would mention as far as like, so I didn't really talk about any TV shows. Andor season 2. I don't think it's quite as good as Andor season 1, but it's still probably the best. I mean, it's the best Star Wars that we've ever had. And it's one of the best TV shows I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. Some of the stuff that it does, especially in the back half of season 2, is just like unbelievable. You know, I thought that the wedding episode of The Bear was good. I know you don't watch The Bear. The Bear's been kind of like floundering a little bit, but there's one really good episode. And also, I've talked a lot about Clips and Let God Sort 'Em Out, that album, a lot already on the podcast this year.
Okay.
But that's a really good album. I almost put the song Chains and Whips, which has Kendrick Lamar on it as well, on my list. Very good song. And then the other movies I wanted to shout out that didn't make my list, mostly for musical reasons, are Sorry Baby, which is the directorial debut of a writer-director named Ava Victor. And it's just a really good, really solid indie movie.
Cool.
It's funny, and it's sad, and it's very warm. Phoenician Scheme.
Yes.
We both loved Phoenician Scheme.
Loved it. That was on my list to mention as well. It's a phenomenal movie.
Yeah, and you haven't watched Train Dreams yet, but you're going to love Train Dreams when you see it.
Okay. Yep. I haven't watched Train Dreams yet. I will say I did shows. There's a show on Netflix called Sirens that is just a fun romp. Yeah. Good time. Materialist was pretty good.
That was on my list until I had the Cat Power song at the beginning. Manhattan, on my list because Materialist, I was so compelled by the movie.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
The whole time it was like incredibly watchable.
Me too. And I mean, I love Chris Evans. You can do no wrong. Captain America is my favorite character of all time, and I don't even need him to come back. But like, I'm happy to see that he is.
Sure. And Dakota Johnson.
Yeah, Dakota Johnson is great.
I also saw her in a movie another movie you would love called Cha Cha Real Smooth. And it's on Apple TV.
About that. Okay.
That's why you haven't heard of it, because Apple TV doesn't let anyone know that anything they have.
Yes, they're terrible at
F1.
marketing. Yeah,
they're really good at marketing F1, and they have forgot to tell
everybody else.
Anything else happens.
Yep.
But yes, Cha Cha Real Smooth is like a 2024 movie, but it's very good.
You know what I'm having a blank on, which I guess I got to pull up really quick, was why do I put things in bold when they are real good?
Yeah.
What is Blink Twice?
That is, isn't that Zoe Kravitz?
Oh yeah,
directorial
Zoe.
debut?
Yeah, Zoe Kravitz. I enjoyed Blink Twice. It's a little nuts, but in general, that's also a 2024 release, but still.
Channing Tatum's in that, right?
Yep, Channing Tatum plays like your like Mark Zuckerberg kind of guy.
I also saw Channing Tatum in a movie I really liked that you really like as well, called Roof Man. That has a awful poster. When you look at the poster, it looks like Daddy Daycare or some shit. Yeah. And it's not that at all.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's directed by the guy who directed Place Beyond the Pines. And
great.
In some ways, it is kind of a like slightly warmer, but still like a crime epic, basically, in a lot of ways. It takes place over a long time, and a lot happens, and it's very good.
So yeah, I mean, there was a lot of good stuff. I watched a lot of fun things. I had a miserable year overall, but you know, let's every year I make the joke that the Kinks song like "This Will Be Our Year" is going to be it's for the next year.
Yes.
You know, so maybe 2026 will be our year.
Maybe
we'll
it will.
see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm no joke on a fast and slow tip. Pockets stay so thick, be on some down low shit. I turn them C's red fast. I never sell out. Fuck that, you're on dead ass. I'm rolling like TNT when it comes to this. Ain't another brother seeing me. That's why opponents always get scared. Cause I make brothers go way on that shit there.